Number one, Ibble Dibble here. Hello, friends. It's been so long, almost 3 months, I think, since I last published a video. How are you? I hope you had a wonderful summer and are in the midst of a fabulous fall. I want to thank everyone inquiring about my health and well-being. It's very kind of you to think of me. I'm okay. I just had a genuinely hectic and fateful summer, and as most of you know, this channel is a hobby for me. I do it when I feel like it and have time. The sugars who write comments about Megan paying my bills via YouTube AdSense revenue always make me laugh. My channel is not nearly big enough for that, and the fact that she's, in my personal opinion, allegedly, my conspiracy theory, do your own research, targeted me again and again with her bots and trolls and reused content claims just shows how pathetic and paranoid and terminally online she is. I'm pretty very sure I had a better summer than Megan. Speaking of the sugars, they also commented on my channel while I was gone, and way more than you happy, normal people. At this point, it's clear to me there is a tiny minority of true fans, crazy sugars, and a bombastic majority of bots, in my opinion, allegedly paid directly by Meghan and Harry. So today I want to share the 3 types of sugar troll comments I kept getting even though I hadn't put out a video in forever. And no, I didn't mistitle this video. My message for Harry is at the end. Type number 1, the Where's Caters. Could they be more disgusting? They would not stop with these comments for months. It was unbelievable. I don't think I know anybody who is such a garbage person. They would harass a woman undergoing cancer treatment. The sugars always accuse anyone who criticizes Megan of being a jealous hater because they themselves, I think, are so easily dazzled by a little cash. They can't imagine anyone having an actual problem with her. Do you think they turned green with envy and died of jealousy watching the Princess of Wales' latest video? Not only is the woman beautiful, rich, and the next queen of the United Kingdom, her husband still wants her, her children adore her, she beat cancer, she enjoys frolicking in nature, and most importantly, she doesn't care about the haters at all. She doesn't talk to Meghan, and she doesn't talk to the trolls Meghan inspires and or employs. Catherine so very clearly published that video for herself, for her family, to remember this precious and victorious time, and for her genuine supporters. She took her own sweet time being seen and heard, and the more time she took, the dumber these trolls looked. Brava. Thankfully? No, I couldn't say that. Mercifully? No, it's quite the opposite. Anyway, it's clear that many of these comments are from click farms. Here's a great example. Not CR77 here says he's Team Meghan and wants to know where Kate Missington is. Now, it doesn't take a marketing professional to realize there's very little overlap between Cristiano Ronaldo supercut editors and Team Meghan. Further, when we check his profile, this Chrissy Edits channel has no content despite being 10 months old at this point. 0 edits in 10 months. Now, that could be because it's a real person who just decided it would be impossible to compete with the 10 million similarly named Ronaldo Edit channels. But the odds are far greater. This is one of hundreds or even thousands of click farm accounts, purposefully named after a big channel that does actually get a ton of views in order to be harder to identify by YouTube or the channels they target via YouTube channel search, and therefore remain reusable as a paid-for troll account as long as possible. That's why I screenshot them every time, not because they hurt my feelings, because I love a paper trail. If you are wondering what a click farm is, it's actually big business in certain countries in the global south where thousands of fake social media accounts are set up and controlled to provide fake engagement for money, including views, comments, subscribers, shares, etc. They have set prices, and anyone can hire them to say almost whatever they want want, and just one worker in these places blasts these copy-paste comments through hundreds of phones all day, every day. I will link a video below that explains it quite clearly, and especially how it's used on YouTube. The difference between a click farm and a bot farm is that the former employs workers, the latter uses bots to blast these messages through the fake accounts. Click farms are marginally more expensive and realistic seeming because you have a real person tweaking and cycling the wording of the comments now and then. But once you have any experience and background knowledge of this industry, both types of comment and commenter are very easily identified. I want to make a vital point here. I'm not explaining click farms and bot farms at this abrasively granular level, simply so you can grasp what a cowardly, hypocritical, bullying troll Megan is, though she is, and I do want you to know it. I want you to know that click farms and bot farms often have seedy underworld ties. Absolute best case scenario, they're set up by a bunch of university students too young to appreciate ethics enough to not try to pay for their tuition in this manner. Worst case scenario, these comments are left by literal slaves. Let me explain. These days, click farms and bot farms employ fewer and fewer extremely low paid workers, which is bad enough, and more trafficked slaves. That's right, people from war zones in Myanmar, Pakistan, and China, among other places, are promised jobs and sometimes even made to pay money for said jobs, smuggled across borders into places like the Golden Triangle in Cambodia, and forced to do this shit for free as slaves. This is just another line of business, along with the honeypot, lottery, and malware hostage financial scams people get roped into, usually via robocall or Telegram, WhatsApp, Line, WeChat, etc., which are all obviously online, plus real life, in person, gambling and prostitution. If you're thinking, how could that be? There's not as much money in it. Think again. On YouTube, there are many creators whose channel focus is how to grow your YouTube channel. They're quite popular, and many of them have purchased from various bot farms and comment farms and made videos about it. Again, I'll link one below. Just watch a few if you want to see them get scammed again and again. Even for one-time purchases, obviously they all ask for credit card info. And mysteriously, a couple weeks later, people's credit cards are completely maxed out. Others do the job, put the creators on an auto pay program, but when the customer cancels, maxed out credit cards. It's low ticket relative to the honeypot fake crypto investment schemes, but it's much, much higher volume. All the kids seem to think being a content creator is a good career. And of course, they're going to invest in trying to make it pay them as quickly as possible. The trafficked people who find themselves in this position are made to believe that they are indentured workers, and they either owe so much they'll be on one of these slavery campuses until they die, or they can get sold, literally sold as a slave, to supposedly pay off this imaginary debt to a farm or factory that needs laborers, to households that need servants, to men who need you know what. Again, with this lie that once they complete this completely illegal contract, they'll be free. When the truth is, the only way any of them leave is if they're no longer of any use to the traffickers, so they're left on the side of the road somewhere. If they're abandoned because they heard the police are about to make a bust, that they can't pay to make disappear because of external, possibly diplomatic pressures, or if they escape somehow. These comment farms or bot farms are so prolific because the workers have quotas, and when they don't meet the quotas, they are physically tortured. Again, I'm going to link to a video on YouTube published by the United Nations to help you understand the connection. Where's Kate Missington? Is just the tip of this iceberg of evil. If you're thinking, oh my God, I did that once, I had no idea. Yeah, you're not a world famous British royal duchess who pays millions to media professionals. To quote Meghan herself on her Archetypes podcast, I often find myself, even in walking into a room, I'm particular. I think a high tide raises all ships. Right? We're all going to succeed. So let's make sure it's really great because it's a shared success for everybody. Stop whispering and tiptoeing around it. Just say what it is that you need. You're allowed to set a boundary. You're allowed to be clear. It does not make you demanding. It does not make you difficult. Makes you clear. Do you think Megan or any of her surrogates ever had the sense to use just a couple of those private jet flights flying into the click farms and bot farms she, in my personal opinion, allegedly, my conspiracy theory, do your own research, employs to be particular, be clear, and set boundaries? To create a group success that would raise all their ships, to make sure everything's organic and authentic, and they're paying the local workers 8 times the local wage, like Sesta handbags? I don't care how much you hate your sister in law, this is unforgivable. Type number 2, the I don't like her butts. This is my favorite category of sugar trolls. Their logic is always along the lines of, I don't like her, but I like you less, so you should shut up. Yeah, sure. You get on YouTube looking for videos critical of Meghan Markle and write in the comments section insulting the creators and or telling them to shut up because you don't like Meghan at all. No, you don't get salty when you never get an email from American Riviera Orchard inviting you to buy something because you're nobody. You don't read People magazine and try to copy her ugly outfits on Casual Friday. You don't like her at all. Sure you don't. Can you imagine Megan's PR people explaining to her why her bots need to pretend to be one of us to get any traction at all in our comments sections? And her screaming about bullying and defamation and the truth and her mental health? You know, with her ego, she hates this tactic, but she's doing it anyway. I don't like her butt. I do feel sorry for anyone whose fans don't even like them. The corollary to this type of sugar comment, bacterial strain 2B, if you will, is the if you just shut up, she'll go away comment. This is slightly less transparent because it's certainly understandable that people hate hearing from her or about her. But again, anyone desperately bored of Meghan Markle is not seeking out and commenting on timely news and opinion content concerning her and telling those providing that content to shut up. I said it when I started this channel and I'll say it again. I'll stop calling her out when she stops being terrible. Her PR slags really do work overtime. Type number 3, the word salad bots. One logical question many of us have asked the sugars before is, when are you going to stop assailing Meghan's critics with ad hominems and start addressing their criticism and defending Meghan's words, actions, and the logic behind them? Of course, the answer is never. They don't, because they can't, because her behavior is inexcusable, though she and all her flying monkeys try to excuse it with a combination of lies, blaming others, and playing dumb. Perhaps they realized they were not winning hearts and minds this way, because this is really a change of tack. She, in my personal opinion, allegedly, my conspiracy theory, do your own research, has employed hundreds, maybe thousands of bot farm bots to write literal word salad, random names typically, on all my videos, and I'm sure other creators' videos, literally every day, multiple times a day. Just look at all of these. This constitutes a vile, cowardly, underhanded attempt to silence her critics. Let me explain how. Yes, it does drown out the voices of the people who already commented, but far more menacingly, it makes it look like the creator is the one buying obviously fake views and comments. This kind of inauthentic engagement is strictly prohibited in the YouTube terms of service, and partnered YouTube creators who make money from ads on their videos can get kicked off the platform for abusing that system by purchasing views and comments on low engagement garbage videos that advertisers then unwittingly run ads on, YouTube pays ad revenue out on, and collecting the difference. So while this absolute onslaught of word salad spam looks more innocuous than the crazy comments calling me a racist, jealous, hater, yada, 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 it's actually part of what is now a year-long effort to deplatform me. Among others, I'm sure, imagining they can pick off smaller channels who don't have YouTube employed liaisons and aren't paying attention lately. They've clearly put a lot of money and time into deplatforming strategies to silence her critics, and I can only hope it eventually backfires on them. It takes me 3 clicks on my phone to block and delete these people. They're not going to bury me. And they seem to not realize that when you have a lot of ex-employees that hate you and hire cheap bot farms in foreign countries, it doesn't take much digging and bribing to expose you. Whatever little contract and NDA you may have had them sign doesn't really apply. Megan's not the only one who can tip off some investigative reporters. I can't imagine this is something Meghan, Harry, or their surrogates would want to be exposed for internationally, especially with all their big talk about internet bullying. Honestly, I hope they go harder. I hope they go harder on more channels. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The actual literal word salad, though, is a mark of pettiness I can respect. The reasons these bots are using random names and not the classic low IQ barbs we've witnessed over the past few years is YouTube's algorithms have improved a lot at detecting and deleting harassing comments and copy paste spam before they're even posted. So the only way to push through to publish this volume of comments is with random mixes of names, not real words. Initially commenting in this way, if the creator doesn't block and delete, also allows these comment farms to go back later and edit these placeholding comments into whatever insane message whoever hires them, in my personal opinion, allegedly, my conspiracy theory, do your own research, H&M, want. So they're not only trying to deplatform their critics, they're trying to poach their critics' platforms. Because, like Megan always says,
women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice. They need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen.
I believe Megan takes particular offense when people point out her self-aggrandizing, irrelevant speeches are typically rehashed buzzword salad. Not just because she's always telling us how smart she is and what a nerd she is and what a good writer she is, but because I sometimes get comments from sugars like, "This video was word salad. You're just like Megan." Hey, sugar. I know you're thicker than molasses in January, but hear me out. There's a difference between the wrong big word and the right big word. And the difference is I'm giving it to you straight and she's condescending to you and insulting your intelligence. Stop embarrassing yourselves. Do you really traverse the landscape of human expression, demanding to be addressed by other adults at lower levels of fluency? In your native language. Even Prince Harry has the sense to smile and nod and pretend he can keep up most of the time.
Or maybe go to the other side next.
That's what makes them such a great comedic duo. Her pretending to say something isn't funny by itself, but when he pretends to understand and agree, it becomes funny. Especially on just the darkest topics like mental health in the military and miscarriages. They should be on SNL Weekend Update with Michael Che because they are fake woke transgressive humor. Apropos of clownery. Happy birthday! Sorry to bring it up, but I have a very serious question for you. Do you know about this bot farm stuff? Do you agree with this bot farm stuff? Don't you agree that no matter who you pay to broadcast them, it's just beneath a royal duchess to craft mendacious troll messages to broadcast on YouTube? And it's entirely unacceptable when the industry employs trafficked people? Harry, did you go parasailing with your children this summer? Did you set baby turtles free into the ocean? Did you go sailing, snorkeling, hiking, biking with your family? Or did someone who says she loves you but acts like she doesn't even like you guys tell you she was too busy and that stuff is too dangerous? I spent my summer making memories that matter. So did the Princess of Wales. And your wife spent her summer paying people to harass us. Ponder that. Okay, that's my rant for today. Toodles. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.